All right, welcome to today's Wednesday group call. Today, we are going to go over AI and automation for your business. There was a poll, and the poll in the group was tied. It was uh, pricing for profits versus AI automations. I think those were the two topics. Yeah, those were neck and neck. But I said, I'm going to do this on AI automations because this is so important, because this is so relevant for your business. And let me see if I can impress upon you the importance of what's going on right now. So you might know this. You know this design. This is the exponential curve. So this is what happened in the 90s. Here, whatever this is, 1992, or internet becomes popular. Okay, and the internet takes off. This is where we're at. We're about here with AI right now. We're getting into this huge exponential curve. There's crazy things that are happening. It's not like this is happening at Google headquarters. No, this is happening in small businesses every day. So let me give you my example. I was developing an app for our company. It's going to be a web app. Our customers can access it. The whole point is it's a visualizer. They can create their own accent wall designs. It'll give them the proportions. If they want to DIY, it'll give them the measurements of everything that they need to cut. I had a developer working on it for like 3 or 4 months. Cost a lot of money, a huge amount of time, and his product, and he was an intern. So the end result was meh. It was okay. It wasn't exactly what we needed. So we never used it. Then ChatGPT 5 comes out. I'm not joking, 30 minutes. I built an app with ChatGPT that does way better job than the one he spent 4 months working on. So what did we just do? We condensed 4 months worth of a specialized, a really specialized person, condensed that into 30 minutes with somebody totally unskilled. I don't know anything about code. I don't know about programming and languages, but AI can just do it. And I was just like, okay, make another version. And in 30 minutes, I came up with 7 versions of this app. And the 7th one, I'm like, this is 90% of the way there of everything I want. So that's why, because we're on this exponential curve here, we're getting into the leg. You want to be riding this train. You want to be on this train. You don't want to get left behind at the station, because when you look up from whatever else you're doing, everyone else is going to be so far ahead of you. And I want you guys to stay ahead of that curve. Ride the wave, ride the curve, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to share exactly the AI automations that I use in my business. Not holding anything back from you here. So you can see it here. So this is Go High Level. This is our top end CRM. So this is our marketing CRM, where all of our messages go out, where we text and communicate with the customers. And what's really nice about a platform like this is it has built-in automations. Okay. So I'm going to start with automations, and then we're going to get into AI, but I'm going to show you something like this. And if you don't have this in your marketing, then I feel very sorry for you, because this is necessary. Okay, this is a 52-week email nurture campaign. So any customer who we tag with long-term nurture, a tag is just, like a filter we've added to the customer in the CRM, they're going to get added to this. And so what happens here? It waits 1 month, and then it starts sending them an email once every week. What's in the email? Let's have a look. What it is, it's a chain of emails that just give somebody a brief little segment of value. So, Rachel, I've been thinking about adding a feature wall for over 6 months. She told us I wasn't sure it was worth it. Then I finally booked. Now it's my favorite part of the house. Before and after, and then a link if you want to see her transformations. When you're ready, we'll help you make yours. So it's not like we're selling something or hard selling anything. We're just saying, hey, look, here's something that we did. What does this do? This keeps us top of mind for the customer. And when they think about, well, that's really the big thing, is keeping us top of mind. So maybe they had a project that they didn't move forward with. Maybe the prices didn't work out for them. but they're in this list, so they're going to get a reminder every week. Oh yeah, Calgary Concert, those guys are doing stuff. Okay, and this goes down, and it just waits 7 days. The reason why we wait a month in between is because we're sending these after jobs are completed. So the job is done. That means we met their need at that time, but maybe by the time it's 4 weeks later, they're bored with another part of their house. They have some friends have come over and seen it, and now they're going to start seeing our emails come in, and they're going to say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to refer them to this person," or maybe I do want to do another wall. So that's the benefit of having these types of email sequences. Okay, so that's the type of automation. So then there's another tag. So there's an automation that's going to add the tag for the 52-week email nurture sequence once that job is complete. We have this type of automation. I'm going to show you how this works. So this is triggered on a form. So somebody submits the pop-up form on our website. The CRM is going to add a tag saying they asked for the form on pricing. So that means, what does that tell us? They're at the stage where they're actually interested in what it costs to do the work. Because they're looking at the pricing, it means to some extent, like they have a budget. It's going to add them as an opportunity. It's going to wait for them to reply. So it's going to send them an email saying, yeah, here's your guide. Then it's going to send an email a few days later. How long is it waiting for? We're 2 days waiting. Then we're going to send another email saying, hey, what did you think of that pricing guide? Do you want to get any of those projects done? And then it's going to wait again. And then it's going to, actually, this one is just, that's all it is 2 emails for the pricing guide. But now I can go into my CRM and I can go into my contacts and I'm going to filter these people. Where's my filters? Are here. Then I'm going to say the tag is pricing. Okay, so now I've got this list of 40 people who've opted in for my pricing guide. And I could say, okay, let's send an email to all of these people saying, hey, we've got a sale coming up. I can go on and on about automations and why. Like we could go through each one, but I'm just trying to give you an overview. So we have that for different types of lead magnets. That's what you would call that. The pricing guide is a lead magnet. We have other email sequences. And then you can also build these using AI. So let's do one as an example. So let's say send a text message to anyone who has a job completed tag saying, thank you so much for working with us. Would you please leave us a Google review? Okay, so I was doing voice to text there. So that's why the text appeared. So it's understanding. And this is just the built-in AI. It's not like this is a separate tool that I have to use. And it's going to create the workflow. What does that mean? That means that I don't need to hire somebody who specializes in workflows and automations to do this. What I find really interesting is as this technology is accelerating, it just makes it more and more accessible. So it used to be only really big company, I'm talking 25 years ago. You have to be a really big company and you have to have developers on your staff and on your payroll in order to get this level of detail and in order to unlock these abilities with your clients. Or maybe you had to have 10 different pieces of software and then you have to knit them together. So, okay, here's the workflow that AI just made. It sends, look, and I'm actually impressed. So it has these custom values. So it's going to take the contact's name. I don't even have to type it in. It's going to say best regards, my name. And this is just a placeholder for the review link. So that's awesome. Maybe I'll save that for later, but I think we already have a, you know what, I will save it for later. I think we already have that set up as automated Google review request. And the other benefit is that we could filter this so that it doesn't send this to people who have already left us a Google review. So that's another cool thing with the automations. There's just a lot of options here. That's the big one. And then I'll show you, the other thing is the forms here are integrated. So this is a new one that we just launched, which is actually doing really well. So people, this is a lead magnet where they can get a free render of their project. So they put in their info. This is what the form looks like. They say, oh, here's the style. But then the automation is going to send them an email. It's going to send them a text message. It's going to follow up a couple days later. And it's going to remove that from them from that automation if they already did reply texting us, because we don't want them to just get robotic messages in the middle of them trying to have a conversation with us. So that's super useful because this can just run. Actually, let's open it back up and let's look at how many submissions we have from this. And this, I started running it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. So we've got 20 submissions, which is unreal. Well, these ones are all tests, so I could delete those. Starting from September 1st, so 10 days ago, and this many is probably like 12. But I haven't had to do anything because all the messages come in automatically, and we get all their data. And then especially useful is this person said, I need this done ASAP. So did this person, and so did this person. So I'm going to call them first, and I'm going to sell them on the job. Okay, and so these are the automations, some of the AI stuff that we can do. This is just inside of our front end marketing CRM. Now, let me show you. This is getting into the more advanced. And let me find the right one. This is a more advanced AI automations. And this one I'm still working on. But I'm going to show you what this does. So what this is, it's an AI agent. So Angie, my AI assistant. And N8N allows you to connect all kinds of different tools. So I have my Gmail, I have my Google Calendar, I have Telegram, I have ChatGPT, and then there's this AI agent also uses an LLM. So this is what happens. I send a message on Telegram. I message a bot, and I say, hey, do I have any new emails? It's gonna read my emails. It's gonna filter, because I gave it instructions in here so that it filters what unread emails are there. Then it's gonna use ChatGPT, and it's gonna create a little summary of what emails are in my inbox that are unread. It's gonna reply to me with a message in Telegram saying, hey, you got an email from here, here, and here. And I've drafted replies to each of them. Those replies end up in a little memory cache, but I can say, okay, yeah, send that draft you came up with. Or I can say, no, go back and make some changes, and then you can send it. And this is the kind of thing that I pay an executive assistant to do. And so imagine, this is just one of the processes that you can automate. I could, at some point, I'm pretty sure, replace all of these low-level tasks that my executive assistant is doing. I'm never going to replace my assistant because, think about it this way. Could you score a touchdown if you had nobody blocking for you? You got to go end zone to end zone. You're returning a kickoff. You got the ball. You're in the end zone. You know it can be done. What do you need? You need blockers. You need people to block for you so that you can run. That's why you need an assistant. The assistant blocks for you. I don't get any phone calls anymore. My assistant gets them, and if it's important, then she sends me a message. And so same thing with emails. Emails are just an open invitation for anyone to waste your time. So my assistant handles everything, and then the cream rises to the top. I get to deal with the important emails and the ones that make me money. So let's see. This is another experimental one, but this you can. This is what it is. based AI agent to retrieve, analyze, and answer questions using documents uploaded to Google Drive and stored in an vector database. So I could store documents and then I can ask my AI agent, hey, give me some information based on this document. But what's actually even better now is I can say, you can use the connectors in ChatGPT. And if you're not using ChatGPT Pro, I don't know what you're doing. So I have my Google Drive, my Google, all of those are connected. And I can use my connectors. So I can say, let's say, check my Google Drive for leads information. No, let me find that. What's the actual document? Check my Google Drive for a sheet that contains information about my past customers and tell me the average profit from that chart. Let's see if we can do it. But this is what I did do. So you can just tell it to go in, find the sheets that you need, whatever documents. You don't even have to open your Google Drive. You just say, hey, there's a document that has this in it. Find that information for me. Look, it's reading the documents, and it's going to spit that back out. And this gave me insights. Seriously, this would have taken me, I don't know, 4 hours to do manually, to go through the Excel files. I'm going to categorize all these types of customers. I'm going to see what the average job value was, what was the profit on the job. And this is just going to spit it out for me. So some of these are becoming redundant, and that's why we're on this exponential curve, because technology from a week ago, it's getting replaced. So what you have to know about an exponential graph is that it's on a logarithmic scale. So this graph is represented on a log scale. So like this is 10 units, this is 10 units, this is 10, 10, 10. And so it's each time you go up higher in the chart, you're an order of magnitude higher. So, 1 inch down here, 1 inch is 10 units, 1 inch up here is 1,000 units. That's what's happening with AI. Is every day it's getting smarter, it's learning, new features are coming out, new programs. So that's why you need to stay on top of these things. Okay, here we go. Average profit core of 38 jobs, $6,000 per job. The average of this one, $13,000 per job. I didn't even tell it what the title of the document was, and it found these. So this is amazing. And second here. Okay, now just checking the video is working. So I don't need to use this knowledge store agent in N8N. Then the other one we can look at is Zapier. So this is like a simplified version of N8N. But where we use this, which is extremely helpful, is this is our sales CRM. So JobTread, if you don't have, well, I mean, even if you do, if you're a contractor and you're not, somebody who just does, like plumbers, they just go to site once and they're doing service calls and the job might take 2 days. But if you're running actual projects and you need to manage those projects, this is the software that you need. It's just unreal. Because you can manage the jobs in here. We have all the files for all of the jobs. You build out the budget, you save the budgets. You can go through all the plans. You can do all your invoicing. You can connect it to Stripe. You can connect it to QuickBooks. You can have specifications. You can have selections. You can build schedules and Gantt charts. You can have your guys clocking in and out. And I've used a lot of other softwares, and this is by far the best. And the best part is that the CEO is on the Facebook support group answering people's questions saying, yeah, I'm going to get the developers to fix this. I think that's the most valuable part, is that they're in there actively trying to make it better, and the price is really good. So that being said, is I logged into the wrong thing here. what we use Zapier for is to connect JobTread with QuickBooks. So you might have seen here we have a pipeline. That's what this looks like, is a list of opportunities. So let me go to the pipeline that we use. So we have new leads, first reach out, second reach out, hasn't replied, quoting, proposal sent, followed up, job approved, job complete, lost or disqualified. And here we also have pipelines, because once somebody's job, once they're qualified for a quote, we move them into here, because this is way better for building out. Let me find one that's got a lot of items. So like all of this, we're not going to build this out in the marketing pipeline, because this one is specifically designed for contractors. Look, it's giving me my markup, my profit margins. We're going to track all of the project costs right in here. So then I immediately know what was the projected profit versus real profit on each job. If this is crucial information, you can't make decisions without it. So what we need to do is say, okay, we need to make sure this information carries over from GoHighLevel to JobTread. That's what we do with Zapier. So we have some zaps in here, and they're automatically going to run. Okay, maybe I'm still logged into the wrong account, but they're automatically going to run, and they're going to make sure that all of the information gets sent into JobTread for that customer. So that's what Zapier is useful for. It's similar to N8N. You can connect different tools to here. Now I'm going to show you one more. This one is really cool. So this stems from the question, which LLM should I use? Should I use Gemini? Should I use ChatGPT? Should I use Claude? Whatever else. This means you don't have to answer that question anymore. It does it for you. It's a router, which means it'll ask all of the models. So I'm going to set it to auto router here, and let's say I want to implement AI in my business to gain the most leverage. My company does finished carpentry locally in Calgary. Our specialty is accent walls. What is the highest leverage use of AI I can implement and integrate in my business over the next 3 weeks without having to hire an external professional or consultant? And lay out a plan to implement your top suggestion. Okay, so I send it that, and just so you know, this tool that I'm using for voice to text, it's called Whisperflow. And this is what you should be using to talk to AI, until you get Elon Musk's Neuralink interface. So the average person can type at, I think, 40 words per minute. You can talk even faster. You can talk 160 words per minute. I've dictated 100,000 words. That's a full book. And that's faster than 97% of typers at 93 words per minute. And sometimes I just leave it open. So that's probably why it's lower. It was at 160 a couple weeks ago. Think about how much time that saves you. So, every time you're talking to ChatGPT or you're writing emails, you can just dictate it. And that's one of the things that increases the speed of interface between you and AI, and that's going to save you a lot of time. So now this is building out this whole plan on how I'm going to integrate AI into my business. Okay, what did it say? And it decided to use ChatGPT 4.0. So what it does is it looks at your question and then it chooses the best model to answer your specific question. So it's creating visual AI-powered quoting and lead intake system. Show clients possible accent styles using AI-generated images. Let them upload photos of their space to visualize styles. Automatically collect the project details. Basically, that's what we built there in HighLevel. But what this is saying is like compile 10 to 20 types of accent walls, categorize them. You train Midjourney or DALL-E. You create a simple form. You build out the automation. This part I actually don't have. So we are still copy and paste their images into GPT to generate the renders. So yeah, if we can automate that, that's going to be awesome. So I'm gonna put this prompt. I'm gonna save this prompt so you guys can see it, because I think this is a good question that you should ask AI. You don't have to use OpenRouter. You can still use just ChatGPT. But I'll show you what I already built in ChatGPT. So this is a custom GPT, and I'll just show you. If you go here to GPTs and you hit create, you put in here description, instructions, conversation starters. You can give it a knowledge base. So you give it some specific documents you want it to reference. So let me go in here and I will show you. So look at this, Sophia Mitchell. This is not my fantasy partner I have dirty talk with. This is the ideal customer profile for interacting and testing with my copy. So with her, I'm gonna give her a script. Let's see if I can find an old script. No. And what she'll do is she'll tell me how would my ideal customer respond to that advertising copy or to that type of email. So this you should definitely build. If you need resources on how to build your ideal customer profile, I can help you with that. Just leave a comment somewhere. But what we came here to look at is WALL-E GPT. So this is the prompt for designing the accent walls. These are all the knowledge base, so sample images. I gave it some conversation starters and I gave it some rules. So now we can go back to here. I'm going to add this blank wall and I'm going to say, do the standard, don't ask for more details. So it has standard settings. And we can, I could say, give me shiplap wainscoting, give me double box paneling, give me a shaker style paneling on the walls, because it's all built in. So it's already learned how to interpret those types of requests. And what that does is you don't have to spell it all out every time you want to prompt for something that you need. So let's see. While we're waiting for this one, I'll just let you know that Google has come out with their latest, it's called Nano Banana. I don't know who names these things, but Nano Banana is really fast for images. So if you're doing pictures for your customers, I'm gonna say, okay, ChatGPT had a very long head start. Let's see if Nano Banana can pull it off here. We're going head to head with AIs. Who's gonna do it faster? Look at that. Okay, that's ugly wall paneling, but I didn't give it any details. Let's try another one, but it is fast. But I have noticed the quality isn't as good as ChatGPT. It's really taking its time here. Okay, that's more what I was looking for. So how long did that take? This took 10 seconds, and you could send this to a customer and say, hey, I did a custom design just for you on how your wall is going to look. What do you think the close rate is going to be if, a wife could show this to her husband and say, look, honey, let's do this. It's going to work way better than if you just text them a description of what you're planning to do. So here we go. ChatGPT is starting to give us a result here. Loading. But these I highly recommend. And if you're in construction, the work you do is going to be visual to some extent. And even this image, this blank wall, what I did is I took a picture of a customer's house and I said, stage this so it looks like it belongs in an interior design magazine, improve the lighting so it looks like it's professionally photographed, clean up the entire room, remove the clutter, add modern furniture. So you can create these spaces. You just have to have good prompts. You just have to be able to ask good questions. So here's the style. Yeah, I mean, this is more in line of what I would actually put there. Like these frames are heavy. Gave me a little bit of chair rail there. But that's just to compare those two. And so now you know how you can use a custom GPT and Infinity Mirror. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope that's helpful. Quick overview of automations for your business and AI. If you have questions about Go High Level, I can help you with that. JobTread, I can also help you there. Or other general AI questions. I'm super into this. I spend a lot of hours every day on this, and it's helping me grow my business. So I want to pass on this. It's good for me because it's been studied. The best way to learn something is to teach it. So when I have to articulate and teach and say, oh, this is how I'm doing this, that's helping me out. So if you ask questions, that's also good for me. So I look forward to your questions. And I'll see you. Actually, not for the next 2 weeks. I'm out of town, so we won't have the live calls. But save up your questions or post in the group, and we'll share them after that. Okay.